So the one thing you might as well know about me, I'm lazy to sort. So if you are like me and you don't like sorting your puzzles beforehand, I'll show you how I assembled this 3,000 piece puzzle without doing any sorting. So without further delay, let's run through this. So this is a Jan van Haasteren puzzle called Ice Hockey 3,000 pieces by Jumbo. And just two things I want to note here. You will note at the beginning of the video, the light quality is not as it should be. The electricity was out and I had to improvise with rechargeable lights. The second thing I want to note is the word snowy there in the right. I did this puzzle for the Winter Puzzle Olympics, and that was the word that was to accompany this puzzle with the progress photos. So it is in the video. I apologize for that. So the edge pieces were sorted up front and I assembled those. That gives me a very clear indication of space. How big this puzzle is if I take out a piece and I want to put it somewhere more or less where it will fit in this bigger picture. So what happens in this case is that I just fished through the box for pieces that I recognize. So the first pieces that I recognized was the net. I think it's, do you call it a goalie net? And the banners or the posters or advertisements there at the back on the, let's call it a wall. So as I fished through to look for pieces that fits those objects, I did also take out other pieces that I recognized and I placed them more or less in the region where I thought they would go. So that was more or less my strategy going in. I didn't take a piece and place it as they call the build as you sort or pick and place method. So I specifically fished through the box, take out what I recognize, place it where I think it should go, and then work from there. So after the goalie nets and the advertisements, the people in the top right and left hand corners stood out to me. The artwork were, I think, somewhat different, and I don't know if it's just because there were no white at all in that part, except for some shirts. So that was recognizable. So I took out the pieces that stood out as the crowd. And in between all of that, you will see I also took out pieces for this little building here at the bottom. I don't know what it is. I am sorry to admit, but I have zero knowledge about ice hockey. It's not a sport that's played in my country, but this puzzle was suitable for the Puzzle Olympics, the winter theme, and it is a fun puzzle. Regardless of my lack of knowledge about hockey, I did enjoy the puzzle for the fun image that it has. So, yeah, and then you will also see the green doors there at the very top. I recognized those pieces. I took those out, and still none of these items were completed completely as I assembled them. So as I still look for those pieces, I took out more that I recognize. So all of these items still got worked on during the course of this assembling. Left hand and right bottom corners, those were also distinguishable. The very left, the very right, there's this little building there. That seems like where the commentators might sit. And in front of that, there's a little bench with people. They were quite big in comparison with the people in the background. So it was easy to recognize them. The same with the people in the left-hand corner. Somewhat bigger than the other people, and the clothes, the colors were very recognizable. Then you will see I start to also take out pieces for people in the middle of the puzzle. This little oak with the green stood out to me. It was easy to recognize his clothing. And then also this oak with the yellow pants and is it maroon jacket? That one came through very nicely. And The next part that stood out was I almost want to call it Cornish. The yellow Cornish there below the advertisement boards. And then also there's a second wall in front of the bottom right hand corner little building. That's maroon, not maroon, the beige wall there. It has got a very distinguishable line that runs through. So I was able to take out that pieces and fill up that corner. Then the same with the beige cream color wall there at the top. You will see I also start to fill in that wall and the people connecting to that wall, standing in front of it. So with the people's clothing, if there's a bit of cream connecting to it, I know it must be in that stroke, that piece there at in front of the wall. So yeah, continue, fish through the box, take out 5, 6 to 10 pieces that I do recognize, place them where I more or less think they will fit. The next part that came together is this little chessboard. I think it's chess, could be some other game, but it's the checkered board with, it seems like they play the game with the pucks. So that came together very nicely. And then also I start here with the blue line at the bottom. That's the second wall in front of the beige wall at the bottom. So that line also started to come in nicely. I was able to recognize the texture and the thickness of that line as the top of that wall there. If you see there at the right top corner, my little nephews are keeping me company while I puzzle, so just excuse them. So you will also see then that like the advertisement boards and the crowd is coming along very nicely. Another thing that I like to do with puzzles is to start at the top. Usually for smaller piece count puzzles, I will break up the edge on the two sides and in the middle at the bottom. Just move them out of the way a little and bring the top down. That's only just to avoid reaching over too far. And once I've got a little bit of that top part done, I would usually just move it up. In this case, because I placed the pieces more or less where I thought and I needed that space perception, I didn't move it down, but I still tried to complete it from the top down. Not always necessarily possible, but that's something I would like to try most of the times. Then that little vehicle, I don't know what they call it. They use it to re-ice or smooth out the ice. I don't know. Again, sorry for my lack of knowledge about this, but I do know that that little vehicle is somehow used to prepare the ice for the next game or the next people. So that one came along. That yellow Cornish there above that vehicle also came in together very nicely, very recognizable. And then what I also started to recognize is the, what do you call them, referees with the black and white with the red arm pieces. So there was 3 of them, very recognizable. I was able to put them together. And then here and there you will see I will start to put people together. That is it a sumo, some kind of Chinese fighter skater there in front of the top or the right goalie. Definitely recognize his clothing and helmet. The figure skater just next to him, also very recognizable. Started to put her in. That blue line here at the bottom came in very nicely, and from there I was able to fill in to both sides everything that touches that line. And then you'll see I will start to put in little pieces of the other skaters, the colorful clothing. It's mostly yellow, orange, red. And the luck there for me was that they are mostly distinguishable. Every shirt's got a different color with another color number on it. And rarely the numbers are the same color on different skaters. The only ones that was the same was this groups that fit together. So if there is like that blue shirt with an orange number, you will note it's one of the three that stays together in this bottom center here. If it's another color and there's more than one, they are usually grouped together. Separate from each other, they are distinguishable. Definitely, I was able to pick out pieces with numbers and determine exactly which skate it is, and I was able to place it. So you will see I'm starting to fill up the clothing of the other skaters, and after that the helmets was also quite distinguishable. Even though there was more than one blue or red or purple helmet, the direction and the things next to it gave me a very clear indication of where that helmet fits, which skater it belongs to. So from there, I'm just filling up. I'm taking pieces with colors and I'm seeing where they are missing, and I will fill them in. Then the next thing I worked on, which was quite helpful, was the pink and blue lines in the middle of or not in the middle, right through the ice ring. So there's this pink and blue lines, some pink circles. So I was able to take out those pieces and complete that lines. And that was again very helpful to fill up the gaps that still remains in the puzzle. From here on out, it's mostly white pieces that remain, and the pure white with no other colors was like 15 or 20 pieces. There wasn't much that was only pure white. Most of the white pieces had some kind of color in it, even black. You were able to see where it fits. So from here on out, where it's mostly filled in the center, I was able to start with the white and match them up with the missing pieces on the skater's clothing. So that was very nice that there wasn't too many plain white pieces. Then there was white with black, a lot of white with black. So that could only fit with the referees or that two skaters next to that vehicle. And I was quickly able to take them out and assemble them somewhere in the puzzle where they fit. And then the pieces that remains were mostly white with some color, very few. And at some point, yeah, I will start to shape sort these pieces, and I will include the pure white pieces as well, as it was easier to look for the shape of the piece than for the color that it fits. That was somewhat confusing because sometimes you're looking for a piece with a blue square and it seems like it should be kind of obvious, but in the end, when you fit it, it's a very tiny, small black dot that fills up that piece. So it's not always as obvious as it seems. And so I had to start shape sorting here to get the shapes together with the color that I'm missing. So there was a specific shape that I was looking for and a black piece, then it was easier to determine, okay, but there is only two with black corners and one of them should fit. So filled in all the white, a very, very fun puzzle. I will definitely do it again. This is probably my favorite type of assembling. I don't like sorting. I love being able to see the pieces, and when it's too many, I will do this fish through the box at first, and once I've got enough table space, I will pull out or put out all the rest and flip them up. Here's some detail. And I wish I could show you all the fun images in this puzzle. It's very, very fun. And I loved it so much. Jan van Haasteren puzzles, cartoon puzzles, definitely on my favorite list. And I will definitely do this one again in the future. So that is it for this puzzle. Please let me know in the comments. Are you a strict sorter? Do you take it as it comes? Do you treat every puzzle differently? How do you tackle especially bigger piece count puzzles? And I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching and take care. I'll see you in the next one.